Yo, what is up, guys? So, hello, welcome back to another beautiful YouTube video, potentially. Um, I just wanted to share a few things with you guys that has transformed a bit of my trading. And honestly, I did go on a little bit of tilt. I kind of fucked up a bit here, but y'all already know I got my two 50K Express accounts. I went through almost like literally 10 to 11 accounts in the past like 3 or 4 days after blowing up my 150K being so close. And it just like came to a matter of like my lack of patience, right? Lack of patience, getting close to the end, not having the mental capital to continue forward with that account. 2 weeks is a lot, and a 9K threshold is very tough to hit. I did rinse out about three regular trading combines, eight actually, eight of the 50Ks, and basically six of the 150K to 100Ks. This 100K wasn't my fault, to be honest with you. That 6K profit threshold, fucking Top Step has been having issues this entire week. It's been fucking with me so hard, and honestly, like, luckily I haven't put all stops on Top Step. They are still a reliable broker or a prop firm, so I'm just going to stick with them. I did, however, come to the conclusion that buying those no activation fee accounts actually does not make sense to do. I would even recommend just doing the evaluations if you're not a consistent passer. I think mistakes happen as well, and you happen to always try to force these accounts to pass, but then a lot of the times, because of your forcing habits, you will probably break the account and blow up the account. But overall, 3K profit target was easier for me to hit. I didn't take that many trades either. I only took maybe like two or three to pass both of these accounts. And really, it's just having to go longs on basically the dips and not really shorting as often, just waiting for the dips to happen for me to take longs, right? So in this video, I want to talk about exactly what I'm doing, right, to consistently get profitable days. As you can see over here, this is just my practice account as well, but it's well over about 80K. Just trading with 15 minis, of course, and using the larger amount of size. But I've been trading very meticulously with this account. Even if it's just even if it's just a practice account, I want to show exactly where I take my entries and why I take them. And to fixate on the bigger picture, right? Because at the end of the day, trading is really easy. It's true. It is very easy. You just have to look at the bigger picture and then trade based on the bigger picture, right? Don't use the smaller time frames because a lot of the times you'll get trapped on it. You'll get caught. You just have to watch how the candles close, especially on the 5, the 15, the 1 hour, and the 4 hour for you to make your narrative, especially for the trend that's moving, right? So in this instance, on this specific day, I saw that the price action was basically holding this key level, right? This right here was a significant level. And as you can see, they did a double dip, trying to basically go below it, but they couldn't, and they broke out to the upside. And why I took this long was based on this specific component. So over here, you can see that the market had this massive dump, right? Very large dump. And then eventually we came back above during news hours, which conclusively had me thinking this could be the bottom for the time being. I think it's higher potential for the longs to work out because the line in the sand got broken through, but right after the line in the sand broke back above the range immediately had a large amount of buyers that came through, which is called a displacement. As long as you have large buying candles, especially around 50 to 60 points on the move up, and we do break out and close above the range, which we did in this instance, typically you would want to wait for a pullback, whether it's a double bottom or a triple bottom, or it's a 50% pullback. You want to be waiting for these opportunities to basically jump in longs so you can capitalize on a move to break out the next high, right? But in this market, conditions are really tough, right? Since the market has sold off significantly, so sellers and buyers are kind of fighting and battling each other out. but as long as they break out each time, right, it is worth considering on taking longs in these specific levels, right? So for example, right now I'm in a long position with about 15 minis, right, expecting a 3 to 4 p.m. push towards the current high. And the reason being is really simple. We broke above and we displaced above this price. We closed above it on the larger time frame. So if you look at this right here, this is the 5 minute, this is the 15 minute, this is the 1 hour, this is the 4 hour. We closed above green on every candle, right? So we closed above this structure. We came in to dip it and retest it. So what do you think is going to happen, right? So the question is, does longs even make sense? Yes, it does. Because at the end of the day, we broke out, buyers came through and followed through. And what we're looking for is a continuation to basically take out the next level of liquidity, which is going to be up at this range here, around 650s, which is why I have my target profit and a stop loss just at the current low. Now, it doesn't mean that the price can't retrace back into that and take me out. Yes, that does happen. So that's why it's always important to follow risk management rules, right? Without proper risk management rules, you're basically leaving yourself with more risk than necessary for the next trade, right? Each time you take a big risk, you'll take a bigger loss. You know what I mean? So you take a bigger loss, your account drawdown is less. And at the end of the day, if you're not getting your skin in the game, you're not going to be able to capitalize on the moves when it actually matters the most. And I think that is the culprit to how my trading is sometimes, right? I don't give myself enough risk. I don't give myself enough room for my drawdown to be able to capitalize on the actual move when it comes. You know, yes, we might see those certain levels very clearly, right? I could see it very clearly that, 25 650s is going to come. Now, for me to say that it's going to happen today, it could happen, yes. In the last hour, I've seen it before. Volatility does push through. However, it doesn't happen every time, right? You have to be considerate towards the structure and how it's moving, right? Market's been moving higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. And right now we're kind of like, trending sideways here. So I'm asking myself, really, are we going to break out? We may or may not today. But it can happen. And that's why I like to keep my risk in the right area of where if I get swept out, then my thesis is wrong. And always having to know that you're wrong in a trade is perfectly fine, just as much as being right. So you have to be comfortable with that, right? So for example, today I had my personal lockout on this account, right? This one's up 1200 already. And this other one is actually down 600. And I didn't trade these accounts together because honestly, I just didn't activate the other one. So I happened to be able to capitalize on the move though right after I saw it, right? In this instance, I was trying to basically take longs here and then capitalize on the bounce here, but I got out a little bit early because one, price came back in to fill this gap, right? Number two, right after we got to this key level, we had a very strong reaction just right at this gap, right? Indicating that strong buyers are in. For example, one bar and then two, the second bar engulfs these other two candles. So that means that buyers are actually interested at this price. I waited for the price to pull back, right? And I took a long just right at this 50% level of this candle, right? And basically what I did was I put a stop loss at the low of this candle, which typically won't hit. Even on like high volume, especially high volume, the stop loss should never get hit. But if it's on low volume, sometimes the stop loss will get hit, right? So you have to be very considerate on how much volume is going through this candle. And you can't really tell, to be honest with you, but typically if you see strong candle buying like this and it's 36 points, you kind of want to be considerate that it could actually end up just reversing to the upside, which is why I took that long. Now, I didn't hold that long enough for me to maximize on my trade. So that's why I actually broke a couple risk rules here. Luckily, I set a DLL, which stops me because honestly, if I keep on taking losses, then I'm probably going to go on to tilt. And if I go on to tilt, I won't see the market as clear as I should, right? So it's really important to set up a DLL, especially considering the fact that I blew up my 150K and I was like almost $7,500 in. And, I could have easily prevented that if I set a stop loss or a DLL for myself. So DLL does save accounts, and it's true. Even one of my friends who had $1,200 DLLs, he actually came back, and now he's been crushing it. He's got $12,000 in payouts already for last month. and he's still getting those payouts consistently now based on his little strategy that he's doing. So in this instance as well, I took a short, and honestly, this was a little bit premature. I should have waited for the confirmation by the break of the structure. Once the break of the structure comes through, I will jump in shorts, right, on the next retest, and then basically waiting for me to maximize my profit potential by aiming for some sort of liquidity sweep of some sort here, or taking profits early. Right? So there's so many different opportunities that we could have picked today. In this instance, I took this long because I saw this large buy candle come through. Sellers came through, beat them. And then all of a sudden you had a engulfing candle right over the selling candle, and it closed above the range a little bit. Now, I think this one was a little bit premature because of this specific reaction. I should have expected a second set of sellers to actually come through. This was not a proper area for me to buy on the breakout. Considering, like, for example, I was trying to replicate something similar to this, but I think this one might have been a bit more premature, and that's why I ended up taking a loss on this trade, and then, getting stopped out for minus 600. But fortunately enough, I had a second account already set up, so I just jumped in longs after I saw the confirmation breaking above here, and then I scaled out one and scaled out the last one for 50 points above the range. Today's range was very tight, 50 points, 60 points, not much. Realistically, it's quad witching day as well on a Friday, so this is only as expected. But yeah, thanks for watching this video, guys. And if you liked the content and you want more answers or more questions about what specific strategy that I'm using, just feel free to leave a comment. I'll invite you guys to my Discord and we can get started from there. Anyways, thanks for watching and hope you all have a great day.